Hello once again, our most developed student. My name is Confident and welcome to our 24-minute lesson. This is the ultimate guide in maths, science, career guidance, as well as a sneak peek into my personal experiences. This is a channel designed with you in mind. Let us dive into today's lesson. In this lesson, we are continuing with our geometric series, and in the previous part or the previous lesson, we actually looked at the proof. Remember the derivation of the geometric series formula, and we went through how to go about deriving this formula and this formula and the condition behind it. So guys, it's very important for you to grab hold of the previous video, and also in the previous of that video we did the arithmetic series, how we derive it. So if you are not getting a flow of these videos, it means you're not subscribed. So that's why I encourage you subscribe so that you can be notified on such videos. Now let's look at this lesson now, where we are looking now at some activities that can bring some light into the summation of the geometric. It says find the sum of the first 10 terms of the geometric series. This is what you're given: 6 plus 12 minus 16 plus. So what you have here, let's quickly do this. We are having minus 64 plus 32 minus 16 plus. They want to find the sum of the first 10 terms. So what you do, remember this is T1, T2, T3. You just have to find the common ratio. What is R? Already you know it's a geometric. So you simply say T2 over T1. But it's good to test with T3 over T2. It's good to always test to see whether it's consistent, because if it's consistent, it means you are 100% right that it's a geometric. 32 over negative 16, negative 64. What is it? Negative half. Let me try the other one, which is T3 negative 16 over 32. Again, it's negative half. You see that? I'm getting a consistent negative half. That's my common ratio. Now find the sum. Sn is equal to a Rn minus 1 over 1 minus R. So we can now use the formula to say sum of 10 terms. They say 10 terms is a. What is the first term? There is my a. This is my a. So it is equal to what? Negative 64 bracket R. Look at this now, be careful, better put a big bracket, then negative half, close the bracket, 10, it's very important what I did, minus 1 over 1 minus, and my R again is negative half. Very careful there. And then if you use that, apologies for the noise in the background guys, unfortunately I'm already in the middle of the lesson, just bear with me. So we have negative 64 bracket, it's again negative half, be careful there, and then to the power 10, right, and then minus 1, then close that bracket, over 1 minus bracket negative half. You just have to be sensitive here. That's where students get penalized because of the what do you call this, errors. 341 over 8 SD 42,625 to 2 decimal places is 42,63. Shift setup, that's how you round off. Number 6 is fixed to 3 decimal places. 2. It's shift setup 6 and then 2 decimal places is 42,63. 42,63. That's how you go about it. But now you will already argue with me to say, but that was not the right formula. Well, it's still going to give us the same answer. Since R was equal to a negative half, a smaller number, you can then use the other formula. Sn is equal to a 1 minus Rn over 1 minus R. If you used this formula, it was still going to be the same. A is what? Our A was negative 64. 1 minus R bracket is still important to put that 10 over 1 minus half. See that even if we used it like this, the answer was still going to be the same, but I will encourage you, just feel comfortable whatever you want to use, but the formula always works. Okay, so it's negative 64 bracket 1 minus bracket negative half. Just do it once. Next time I will just use one of these formulas just to show to you here. I was just trying to prove to you that it's the same. Then over 1 minus negative half. Alright, it's just a matter of you being careful with that. See? Alright, I'm getting now a negative 1 minus a half. Did I put the negative 64? Yes. It's 1 minus that over 1 minus r. I think I see where I made an error. So look at this one. The answer actually is this one. It's 1 minus r. It's negative 42,63. Because negative 42,63. Right. Now look at this one. This formula is wrong. This formula is wrong. Do you see where the formula is wrong? It's not 1 minus r. It's, since we started with r, it will also be r minus 1. Be careful, when you start with r, you also must then. So if you do that, then you can test it. It is the other way around, whereby I was supposed then to have, which is r minus 1. You can check it. It must then give you a negative here. Alright, so it was good actually using both formulas, but be careful of writing the right formula in that. Because of time, I have to move on. Calculate the sum of the following series. You are given this one, the sum. Let's erase and start everything. Calculate the sum of the following finite series, meaning it's 2 marks, finite. We are given that. What are we given on this one? We are given 0,25 plus 0,5 plus 1 plus 2 plus blah 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 256. See, they gave us this. Now when they're giving us this, I told you find the common ratio T1 T2. So you're saying T2 over T1, which is 0,5 over 0,25. Now find the common ratio so that it's easier for you. 0,5 over 0,25. What is it? 2. The common ratio is 2. And then what is 0,25? It's your T1. This is also your A, right? And then in here they say calculate the sum of the following finite. You see, plus 256. They gave you that. So let's use the formula to say Sn is equal to A bracket Rn minus 1 over R minus 1. Last time I made an error, I said 1 minus R. The challenge of this is we don't know our N. We don't know. They didn't give us how many. So which means first of all I need to find N. How do you find N? I know the last term. This is last term. So now I come back to the nth term of the formula. Tn is equal to Arn minus 1. Then I know now for T n to become what? 256. What will it be? Then I will say Arn minus 1 is equal to 256. See where I'm leading to? Then from there I know my A. What is my A? My A is 0,25. Remember, that is my A, and my R is 2. So I will say here 0,25, and then after that I will say 2n minus 1 is equal to 256. Now pay attention. How do you solve this? This is exponents. You need to be very, very comfortable. Now, first of all, look, I don't want this 0,25. What I do on the left, I do on the right, 0,25. So that it's gone. So I've got 2 to the power of n minus 1 is equal to, then after dividing there, 256 over 0,25 is giving me 1024. But now, so that I can just work in, I need to find out, can I express 1024 in terms of 2? If I say 2, 1024 is same as 2, let's say 2 to the power of 6. What is it? 64. 2 to the power of 8 equal to what? 256. I need 1024. 2 to the power of 9. 512. 2 to the power of 10. There is 1024. Remember, this was 1024. Use your calculator. With your calculator is easy. You can say, to find that, you say, let me show you. You will say 1024 equal to, mine is an old version. Then you say shift, you press that button. It will say fact. Then it will give you that 2 to the power of 10. Alright, so here we are going to say 2 to the power of n minus 1 is 2 to the power of 10. 2 is the same. Now remember the law. What does it say? If a to the power of m is a to the power of n, same base, you equate the exponents. So m is equal to n. Don't cancel like this. No, you just equate. You just equate. So it means here also these are the same. So I can equate and therefore say what? N minus 1 is equal to 10. Take n from negative to positive. N is equal to 10 plus 1 and n is 11. Those are the number of terms that we needed here. So here you can come back and say, okay, I can now use the formula here to say sum of 11 terms is equal to, and then you have your first term, which is 0.25, and then bracket r is what? Remember, r is 2 to the power n is 11 minus 1 over r, which is 2 minus 1. Then you can find the sum of 11 terms. What will it be? Now it will be like this: 0.25 bracket 2 exponent 11 minus 1. Just also try this one on your own. 2 minus 1. It's very good to always try and check my answer against yours, which is 511,75. 511, just try it on your own and see if ever you also get the same answer. Alright, now next one, just because of time, I'm rushing. Next one, evaluate. This is a very common one, evaluate. Now look at this. If I can make it big, sorry about that. If I can make it big, I need to evaluate this. What does this mean? It's a summation. Remember, we'll talk about it to say if they give you something like this. Let me use this one. If they give me 10, k is equal to 1 over 50, and then 5 k minus 1. They want me to evaluate this. So what they're trying to say is, tell us the first term. So I need to find my t1. Let me use a different one here. I'll find t1. Come on. I'll find t1. I'll find t2, t3, blah blah, and t10. Remember, I'm adding plus 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 plus, summation. Okay. So what is t1? This is how you find t1. t1 is found by saying 1 over 50 bracket 5 k is 1. It will be 1 minus 1 plus 1 over 50 5 k is 2 now. It's 2 minus 1 plus 1 over 50 5, and then what we have is 3 minus 1 up to plus 1 over 50 is what? It's 5, and then it's 10 minus 1. That's what is actually happening. Then if you simplify it, you can simplify with the calculator here to say you need to get this 1 over 50 in here, and then bracket, now 5, you know, to the power 1 minus 1. Let me just do it for your sake. The answer is 1 over 50. Let's go back one. 2 minus 1 there. It's what? 1 over 10. Let's go back. I'll remember this. It's 1 over 10. now it's 3, it's 1 over 2, so it was 1 over 50 plus 1 over 10 plus 1 over 2 plus, you can try this one for 10 minus 1, you try that one. Then when it's that, what do I need? Next thing I need is find my R. How do I find R? R is T2 over T1. What is T2? 1 over 10 over T1, 1 over 50, which is equal to, that's where most of you make errors. Now students, careful, look how I'm going to find R here. Some of you do this with the calculator, they do this and do this and do this just to have 4. So when they start, they say as long they had 4, they think the calculator will know what to do. Then there they have 1, and then they have 50. You know, I just did that equal to, you see, I'm getting 1 over 500, but that's not how you go about it. How do you go about it? On top there's a fraction, I put a fraction. Okay, first of all, there is the bigger division line, which is that it's fraction. Then the cursor, you see where the cursor is, that is indicating there, that's where you put a fraction. Then you put your 1 over 10, then you go down again, there is another fraction, you say fraction, then you say 1 over 50. If you always get funny answers, it's because you're making those errors. You see, the answer was supposed to be 5. R is 5. Now when I've done that, the aim is to find R, and then also you find the first term. There is my A. Then it's good to go. You know it's geometric. Sum of n terms is equal to A, Rn minus 1 over R minus 1, which is equal to your A is 1 over 50, bracket R is 5, your N. Now, important one now. Look at my N. How do I find my N? We did this in the previous one. NB. Number of terms. How do you find number of terms? Number of terms is what? It's N is equal to top minus bottom plus 1. So N is equal to what is top? It's 10 minus bottom is 1 plus 1, which is equal to 10. It's easy like that, but sometimes you might find that it doesn't start from 1. It can start from another number. If it started from 3, you're going to say N was equal to 10 minus 3 plus 1. See, now it changes everything, which is 8. So there are 8 terms when it starts from 3. Sometimes it starts from 0. So you're going to say N is equal to 10 minus 0 plus 1, giving you 11 terms. So be careful now how you go about that. Alright, so we can see that here our N is top 10 minus bottom 1 plus 1, which is 10. That's where now I will put my 10 there. Right, minus 1 over R, which is 5 minus 1. Then I can then find the final answer in that scenario there to say. Also be very careful how you do that. You see, that's why I put there 1 over 50. It's on top there. And then I put a fraction 5 to the exponent 10 minus 1 over 5 minus 1. Then you get this big answer. You can write that big answer. So that is that. Then it's up to you to write that answer. Okay, so that was that. When we're evaluating, it's not difficult. 3 marks. The other one also is 3 marks. Look at this one. Evaluate this. This one is a little bit different now. A little bit different. Find the value of M, not evaluate. Find the value of M. Now they are looking for M. Now with that, you just need to be very careful. Look at this. I told you that to find the sum of n terms, you start by your T1, you go for your T2, you go for your T3, you go for your T4 up to the end. So if you say plus, 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 let's do it. T1, what we have got 2 to the exponent 8 minus 1 plus 2 to the exponent 8 minus 2, because we're starting from 1. That's where you start. Plus 2 to the exponent 8 minus 3 plus 2 to the exponent 8 minus 4 plus wherever. Then they are saying if I'm adding, I'm going to get 255 and a half. That's what they are saying. That is the sum. The sum is already given. Sn here is equal to 255 and a half. You see now? So now they want, that's why they want m. If we continue this, it will be 2 to the power 8 minus 1 is 7, 2 to the power 6, 2 to the power 5, 2 to the power of 4, blah 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 blah, equal to 255 and a half. Now obviously you know the drill. Start with r, common ratio. What is r? It's t2 over t1, which is equal to t2 is 2 to the power 6 over 2 to the power 7. You can use a calculator, but exponent says, you say 6 minus 7, which is 2 to the power negative 1, which is 1 over 2. Alright, we can use the calculator though. I encourage you to use the calculator. And then we know our first term. This is our a, right? So if I write this, look, if I write this sum of n terms is equal to what? A Rn minus 1 over r minus 1. Since it's half, some will prefer to use that one. Sn is equal to a 1 minus Rn over 1 minus r. You use this one. For me, we compare the answers. Alright, so I'll maintain that other one. So now I know my sum already. What is my sum? Is 255 and a half. So here I'll come and put 255 and a half is equal to a was what? 2 to the power of 7. 2 to the power of 7 bracket r is 1 over 2. You can put another bracket there to the power n, because this, let's make this the bigger bracket here. It's like I've mixed many things. Look, when it's a fraction like this, better to say let's start with the bigger bracket, which is that one, and then 1 over 2. I'll put a small, then I put n, see that, minus 1, then close the bigger bracket over r is 1 over 2 minus 1. That is where we are solving for n, but our n, they told us calculate what? Look at this now, careful. Let's come back here. How do we find m? Look at this. We're back again to that part to say how do we calculate m? M is equal to top minus bottom plus 1. M is equal to, what is my top? It's m. That is actually n here, not m. I'm calculating the number of terms. N is equal to top, which is m, minus bottom, which is 1 plus 1. Are you seeing that? Which is equal to what? Which is equal to m. So it's just standard m. So here, where there is n, I put m now. Do you see that? Then from there, it's a matter of your algebra, how you go about. Now 1 over 2 minus this, I'm just going to erase because of time. This one will give me 1 minus half. It's negative 1 over 2. Alright, then simple thing, multiply by negative 1 over 2, multiply by negative 1 over 2. That will be like this. You don't need to simplify it further. You can just write it like this, negative 1 over 2 times 255 and a half is equal to 2 to the power of 7, 1 over 2 to the power of m minus 1. See that? Then at this stage, there is the guy who's disturbing you. This guy, 2 to the power of 7. Again, over, you divide by that so that it goes. But what you do on the left, you do on the right. See, I didn't cancel yet. I didn't multiply that yet because I wanted that. Then after that, I can continue to say, look at this, negative 1 over 2 times. Okay, let's find the answer there so that we don't keep on writing this long thing. What is it? It is fraction negative 1 over 2, and then what am I doing here? Fraction negative fraction 1 over 2, and then times. Look, don't say 255. I told you last time, some of you do this. They say fraction, they put back that, and they say 255, and then they do 1 over 2. That's wrong. It's even actually yours. It's suicidal. Don't use that. It's not the one. This is the one that you must use. Test it, you'll see. Just do this with your calculator. Say fraction, play back, because that's what most of you do. 255, and then 1 over 2. That's what most of you like doing. Then look at the answer I'm getting. It says it's 255 over 2, because it's not the one. It's this one. Shift that, which is 255 and half. See the difference? Equal to a different answer altogether. Alright, so let me do it now properly. So it's fraction, before the fraction it was negative, and then fraction 1 over 2, and then times, shift that one, which is 255, and what? A half over what? 2 to the exponent 7. I hope it will simplify things. Oh, there we go. It's giving us what? Negative 511 over 5. Okay, it's negative 511 over 512. Negative 511 over 512. I thought it was going to be simplified. Alright. Now, take it here is equal to 1 over 2 to the power m minus 1. Then 1 joins that side. It becomes what? It becomes minus 511 over 512 plus 1, which is equal to 1 over 2 to the power m. Are you with me there? So then take a calculator and add that and see what it gives. So you have got negative 511 over 512, say it 512 plus 1. It's giving me 1 over 512. So you've got 1 over 512 is equal to 1 over 2 to the exponent m. My time is up. Apologies, it's above 24 minutes. But anyway, just hang in there, hang in there. Look at this, 512. You see, if you take a calculator, you need to know such. This is a power with base 2. If I say 2 to the exponent 8, for example, 256, 2 to the exponent 9, there it is, 512. So this is 1 over, they won't give you something that does not have relations. See? So like that. Then after that, it's up to me what to do. You can take, you can actually even say 1 over 2, because this is same as like this, to the power of 9 is equal to 1 over 2 to the power of m. Therefore, m is equal to 9. Or use the laws of exponents. Take it a little bit longer. Take this to the top. What does it become? 2 to the power negative 9 is equal to, take this to the top, 2 to the power negative m. The bases are the same. Are you with me? And therefore, what do you say? Equate the exponents. Minus 9 is equal to minus m. Divide by negative 1, negative 1. There it is. Therefore, m is equal to 9. Are you with me? So m is 9. It's always good. You can test it yourself. If m is 9, you come here on the original and see whether it will give you that to say. If I solved it well, I will come here and say, since m is 9, I'm saying fraction, not 4. I'm testing it there, 1 over 2. But now my m is 9. Bracket, and then bracket 1 over 2 to the power now of 9. See, m. Then minus 1. Then close this bracket over what? It was negative 1 over 2. I hope it's correct this. Am I right here? If I did this, is it negative 1 over 2? I think so. I think it was that. And oh, it was it actually, why am I doing 1 over 2? I'm supposed to say 2 to the power of, sorry about this. Here I'm supposed to say 2 to the exponent 7 equal to 512 SD 25 this shift. How do you convert? Don't know how you can convert that. There it is. I think I can convert that like this. There, 25 and a half. So the answer is correct. So guys, I have to end this long lesson. Long, but I hope it was intentional. Justifiable. So doing these questions, it's up to you how you master this. Not a difficult one. I'll bring now time and again some previous papers where I attack 1 or 2 there so that you can prepare for your June exams. That's the one that are very important. But this is the foundation that you can use to revise or to prepare and understand the geometric series. Join me in the next lessons where I look at the sum to infinity. You need to know. Remember, when we're talking about sum to infinity, what are we saying? We're using this one. S to infinity, what is the formula? A over 1 minus R. Remember, now, very, very important part. Now you need to join the next lesson. If you're not subscribed, then it's your own problem, because every time I'm loading these videos, you might miss out on them. So subscribe. Guys, even if you say, but I'll find them out one way or the other, it's unfair for you to be watching without subscribing, because you're trying to tell me I just want to benefit here, but I don't want to tell the person behind these videos that there is someone watching. So if you're just watching like that, you're just being unfair. Do the right thing, subscribe, also share the channel with your friends. Thank you.